4 times. Sam Darnold followed, going 5 for 8 for 84 yards. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
And it is 7:30 on this Monday morning. Good morning to everyone, including Gene Brister. How are you, sir?
Good morning, George. I thought you were going to say good morning to everybody but you, Gene. That's where I thought you were going.
No, you have to get a special one because you're actually here to hear it. How was your weekend? You have a good weekend?
I did. How about you?
I got to see some football.
Did you? Were you happy with the results?
I was happy with the results. I wasn't happy with the broadcast because my service, I got 10, 15 minutes into the game that I really wanted to see, and they cut it, blacked it out. And put a little warning on there and said, because of the NFL regulations, we can't broadcast this game in your area. And I sat there scratching my head saying, why? They're playing 250 miles away from us. We're out of the blackout zone. And just beyond me why they do stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I'm sure a lot of people were surprised.
Yeah. My grandson was at work, and he said they have a TV there that so he could get glimpses of the game. And the same thing happened to them. Apparently, they had the same service as we do, and it blacked it out for him too. So he had to work the rest of his day not in a good mood,
and not up to date.
Well, yeah. Fortunately, we have cell phones, and we kept up to date on the scores, but it's not the same thing.
Well, he certainly got information from us as well on what we were doing, right?
Well, no, it wasn't the Raiders game. It was the Chargers game.
Okay.
And that's the one that we wanted to hear on Saturday. Raiders game came in fine. I mean, it was here. We had it here. There wasn't no need to go to the TV. Watched it on TV anyway. Mm-hmm. But I did it like I usually do. I put the Raiders game on the TV and turned down the sound and turned on KXO or FM 107.
Yeah.
And just listened to, because radio broadcasters are much better than the TV broadcasters.
Yeah, that's always been the case.
And so the Raiders game was good. That came in fine. Raiders did a fine job of doing what they had to do. In a preseason game, we got to keep in mind the preseason is, the Chiefs lost a game that they would not have lost in the regular season, but it's preseason, so it doesn't matter.
Right. They're just getting in the mood to play. That's what I heard somebody say.
Well, yeah, getting in the mood to play. And for me, for us, it's at my house, we use it as a what do we have as backups? What do our backups look like? Mm-hmm. Because in football, you're always going to have injuries. And are we going to have somebody that can fill in? And we look, from what I saw, the Chargers looked really good. And so did the Raiders. Raiders looked really good, too. They did a fine job, played nothing but backups pretty much, and no starters at all. So the benches look really good on both sides.
I thought you were going to say they looked really good playing nothing. Yeah.
Well, the starters, I think the Raiders should start their starting quarterback because it's a new starter. He's not a new player, but he's a new for that team. So I think he should have some time playing. I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but I think they should. But other than that, is it just preseason? Don't even expect to look at the starters. It's all to see how the backups play.
Yeah,
and who makes a team and who doesn't.
And to see how they back up.
And because we have seen, experienced before, both the Raiders and the Chargers, when the backups don't come through, neither does the team.
The backups don't back up.
That's right. Anyway, it was a frustrating weekend for me, but the results were good. And I read the reports, all the reports I could on both games, and the professionals that know what they're talking about seem to like them as well. So we're looking good.
Well, you told me that we're going to start a little early this morning.
We are. Are you ready for the birthdays?
I'm ready.
Because we got a bunch of birthdays to get to. The big shot birthdays, Dash. Do you actually know that there's a famous guy named Dash?
I did not. I know there's some kind of a company called Dash that can bring you groceries to your door.
There's kids in cartoons named Dash. But there's only one famous guy ever, Dash Crofts of Seals and Crofts.
Oh, okay.
His name is Dash. He's 85 years old today.
Yeah.
Been around a while. Country singer, she's a legend in country music. Connie Smith is 82. Steve Martin, the funny guy, he plays banjo too. He's 78. Antonio Fargas was the funny guy on Starsky and Hutch. He's 77. Larry Graham of Sly and the Family Stone is 77. He played bass. That's why we never heard of him. Susan St. James, she's in everything in the 70s. She's 77. Romance novelist. Do you read romance novels?
No, I used to, but I quit.
Daniel Steele. She's one of the best of the best in that genre. From what I understand, I don't read them very much.
I thought
either.
You were going to break the news to us yourself.
No, I haven't read very many, but I've heard of her. She's 76. Keyboardist Terry Adams of NRBQ. I don't know who he is, but he's been around a while. He's 75 today. Gary Larson, one of the funniest cartoonists around. He did The Far Side.
Oh, yeah.
He is 73. Carl Lumley of Alias is 72. Jackie Harry of Sister and 227, she is 67 today. Marcia Gay Harden is 64. Susan Olsen of the Brady Bunch, she was one of the sisters. She's 62. Halle Berry is 57 today. Catherine Bell on JAG, that was one of my favorite shows. She's 55 today. And Cody McGarver of Confederate Railroad, one of the underrated kind of a rockabilly bands ever. He's 55 today. Local birthdays, we got a bunch of them. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Oh, you're going to love this.
From coast to coast, this is Goddard's Gold, right here on the Imperial Valley's AM 1230 KXO.
What's your name? Who's your daddy?
Get the gold, Goddard's Gold, Saturday 9 p.m. to midnight and Sunday morning 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Happy birthdays this morning going out to a long list of people, including Alicia Taylor Garcia, Patsy Castro, Tuti Luna, Maria Celeste Gonzalez, Gil Varela, John Moreno, Linda Hernandez, Antonio Saldivar, Joseph Jesse, Isela Hernandez, Heather Trapnell, Irene Diaz, Jess Muyen Ayanos Orozco, Rosa Mamaya, Francis Carvajal, Carissa Trujillo, Gabriel Juarez, Jose Castañeda II, that's the dad, and Jose Castañeda III, that's the son. Antonio Chavarin, TJ Hernandez, David Dacio, David Jimenez, Elizabeth Cochran, George Walton, Isabel Chavarria, Janice Pugh, Gina Gerardo, Jose Garcia, Levon Porter, Luann Evans, Amadio Julian Mendoza, Martha Godoy, Sandra Camarena, Maricela Rosales, Maria Belén Silva. Happy birthday to each and every one. Wedding anniversary today, Jose and Nora Mesa. Happy anniversary to you guys.
More than 80 million Americans depend on AM radio for their news, traffic, weather, sports, and a community connection. It's the backbone of the emergency alert system, keeping us safe in dangerous times. It's critical that we keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free emergency service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
And we are now ready for the World and California News headlines, brought to you by Lock Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal. Lock, your year-round comfort specialist.
CBS News Brief. Crews are going from rubble pile to rubble pile on Maui, looking for human remains after last week's horrific wildfire that's killed at least 96 people. Governor Josh Green tells CBS.
There will not be any survivors in the area left. They've either escaped that night. And now, as we put up some temporary cell capacity, people are calling each other. So the number of missing went from in the 2000s down to 1,300.
Georgia prosecutors are wrapping up their investigation into former President Trump and others accused of trying to challenge election results. CBS's Nicole Killian.
This morning, there's an increased security presence outside the Fulton County Courthouse ahead of a potential charging decision this week.
There are no classes for kids in Louisville, Kentucky schools today or tomorrow after massive problems with buses on the first day of school. Parent Ashley Robinson.
But I do want all kids to be safe, and I hope that we can rectify the situation so that kids can have consistency.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Become a Lock Air Conditioning VIP customer and get special pricing on cooling and heating tune-ups all year long. Call today to become a Lock Air Conditioning VIP customer at 760-93-LOCKE. That's 760-93-LOCKE. Lock VIPs receive discounted service and maintenance, discounted repairs, and priority service with prompt service. Lock Air Conditioning is your local York dealer, but they repair it all. So when the need arises, don't hesitate to call Lock Air Conditioning at 760-93-LOCKE. That's 760-93-LOCKE. Lock, the only name in air conditioning for over 40 years. York, install with confidence. Contractor's license number 696216.
California headline news: the wind-driven fires in Hawaii. A reminder that California's dry and windy season is still on the way.
Have a plan in place prior to an incident. We've seen it with some of the fires that we've had throughout California, where the incidents occur and then the people go, okay, what do I do now? Well, at that point, it's a little bit too late.
Robert Foxworthy with CAL FIRE in Sacramento. Police searching for up to 50 suspects who stormed a Nordstrom store in the San Fernando Valley, likely the work of an organized crime ring.
There's no doubt that there's a lot of criminal organizations behind this. Some of it involves gang members. Some of it involves people that are what you would identify as professional retail thieves.
LAPD Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton. The smash and grab robbery occurring over the weekend at the Westfield Topanga Mall in Canoga Park. Thieves dressed in masks and black clothing spraying security guards with bear spray before making off with $100,000 worth of loot. Search for a missing Saratoga teen comes to a tragic end. The family of 17-year-old Catherine Schneider confirming her body was found in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Jeff Scott, California News.
And the World California News headlines brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal. For repair or replacement, call the experts, Lock Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal.
The Imperial Tigers are looking for an Imperial Valley title this year, and Mickey Dale and George Cahava will be on the sidelines with all the action. Follow the Imperial Tigers live on the web at KXORadio.com. All the games, home and away, streaming live on KXORadio.com. Imperial Tiger Football is brought to you by
the Imperial Quarterback Club, El Serape Restaurant in Imperial, and Southwest Security.
And we are now ready for page one of the local news, a service of El Centro Motors, Quick Lane and Tire Centers, with 3 locations to serve you at El Centro Motors in Brawley at the Auto Center, Highway 86 and Julia Drive, and at the Imperial Valley Mall. With page one of the local news, here's Gene Brister.
Taking a look at the latest in local news, the city of El Centro asked for an injunction. The city filed a request for the injunction against the Imperial County Local Agency Formation Commission or LAVCO. On Friday, the city asked the Imperial County Superior Court to order LAVCO to stop proceedings on a proposed health care district as requested by Pioneers Memorial Health Care District. According to the city, LAVCO needs to rectify legal errors in the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, process. The city claims that LAVCO needs to address potential environmental impacts of the proposed district expansion application, in that, according to the city, LAVCO failed to follow the statutory and regulatory process to identify and address the environmental impacts of the proposed expansion. The city of El Centro also claimed that LAVCO failed to provide the city with reasonable advance notice and comment prior to the negative declaration according to CEQA guidelines. The city is asking a judge to conduct a hearing and rule in the injunction requested to be September the 14th of this year. Well, a portion of Clark Road is to be closed. Plan work for the Clark Road area. The County Public Works Department says the work will start today. A portion of Clark Road with Ralph to Larson Road will be closed until Thursday, August 17th. The work continues road rehab. It'll be a 24-hour 4-day project, and motorists are asked to find an alternate route during that period. KXO News Time, 7:45.
How about the next time you need service on your car? We come to you. Hi, this is Mike Allison for Real Central Motors and Quick Lane. Our mobile service vans are an extension of our dealership service lane. We will come to you for an oil change, filters, brakes, batteries, tire rotation, and so much more. Hey, while your car is just sitting there at work, we'll take care of your service needs, and it doesn't cost any extra. Schedule your appointment now at elcentralmotors.net. El Central Motors Mobile Service Vans. What a great idea.
Well, the Target store is recalling the candles. This, according to a report by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. According to the report, Target has issued a recall for 2.2 million Threshold brand candles. The glass jar candles are sold in multiple sizes and various scents. According to the report, the candles can break during use, risking burns and lacerations. The recall was prompted after Target received complaints about candle jars breaking and cracking, resulting in one injury. If it is suggested the consumer stop using at the Threshold candles at this point and return them to Target for refund. That concludes this edition of Local News. However, stay with us for page 2.
Page 1 of the local news has been a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers with 3 locations to serve you. Quick Lane services all makes and models, and you will never need an appointment.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
And page 2 of the local news served up this morning by K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. Great Japanese food specializing in sushi rolls. There are 50 different varieties of sushi rolls, one for every state of the union. For page 2 of the local news, here's Gene Brister.
Continuing with more local news, a child was flown to a hospital. San Diego Sector Border Patrol was called by a group in the mountains. Agents arrived at the area near the border barrier, near Acumba. The group told the agents the 6-year-old had been struck by a utility terrain vehicle during an off-road race in Mexico. They said the child suffered a head injury. The agents examined the child and determined he needed immediate immediate medical attention. Because of an extreme remote location and the seriousness of the injury, it was decided to transport the child and his father to Akumba Airport. At the airport, the child and his father were flown by helicopter to a San Diego hospital. The child's condition is not known. The San Diego sector says so far this fiscal year they have received over 4,700 calls for help. Well, David Lancer will be pinned on Tuesday. It is a traditional ceremony. Lancer will be introduced as the new county fire chief. He will officially receive his official badge as Imperial County Fire Chief of the Imperial County Fire Department and Office of Emergency Services. The ceremony will also serve to introduce Lancer to the community and to the members of his department. The ceremony will be held Tuesday, August 15th, at the beginning of the public session of the County Board of Supervisors meeting. It will also serve to allow the supervisors to welcome their newly appointed chief. The ceremony will also take place during the special presentations portion of the weekly meeting. Supervisors meeting will be at the administration building on Main Street in El Centro. Well, a major fundraiser being planned. It is the Boys and Girls Club of Imperial Valley annual combo auction. It'll be October the 21st at the Stockwinds Club in Brawley. The theme this year is Lights, Camera, Action, and it's being dedicated to Debbie Cameron, a beloved board member and head of the combo auction committee. For 57 years, the mission of the Boys and Girls Club of Imperial Valley has been to make a difference in the lives of kids in the valley. Serving over 450 kids annually in Imperial Valley is a mission they hold dear and which they are proud to play a part. Combo Auction is their pivotal event. The funds raised help support their programs throughout the entire school year. You can go to their website, bgciv.org, for more information. We'll be back with a look at the weather.
K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial is serving the best Japanese cuisine in the Imperial Valley. The menu is full of outstanding entrees. Yes, there's something for everyone at K Sushi, including for the kids. K Sushi offers you 50 different sushi rolls. They're named after our 50 states. And there's fresh sushi and sashimi, plus beer, wine, and sake. And oh, I forgot to mention, they also have teriyaki chicken or beef, rice and noodles. K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. They're open daily from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. K Sushi also caters and welcomes big groups anytime. Call 760-355-4440. That's 355-4444 for your takeout.
Here's Carol Buckley with the weather. Here's George Gale with the weather update.
The high temperature yet today, 108 degrees. The overnight low this morning, 81. Excessive heat watch in effect. Sunny and hot weather expected today. Highs right near 110. South to southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight lows around 87. South to southeast winds at around 10 miles per hour. Sunny and hot on Tuesday. Highs right near 111. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And right now we are looking at 82 degrees, 70% the relative humidity. Air Pollution Control District says air quality is good in Brawley and El Centro. Air quality is moderate for the rest of the region except Calexico. We don't know what's going on in Calexico. Their monitor is broke. On page 2 of the local news, served up by a K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. Check out the daily lunch specials. The dinner menu features 16 different entrees. K Sushi Bar and Grill, just off Highway 86 in Imperial.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your San Diego County Ford dealers during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of Ford trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. This is your time to discover summer at your San Diego County Ford dealers. And right now, get 0% APR limited term financing on a 2023 Ford F-150 truck. Hurry in and test drive one today. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 0.0% APR financing for 36 months at $27.78 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment. Residency restrictions apply. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/4/2023. See dealer for qualifications and complete details.
All offers valid at Imperial County Ford dealers.
And it's time for the sports. Sports World Roundup is brought to you by Pioneers Memorial Hospital, Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District, an affiliate of the Scripps Health Network, working together to provide the best of care. In the NFL yesterday, there was a couple of games played Sunday. Saints beat the Chiefs 26-24, and the Raider game. You heard that one on FM 107.5, the Raider station for the Imperial Valley. Raiders beat the 49ers 34-7. Major League Baseball, it was the Angels over the Astros 2-1. Diamondbacks beat the Padres 5-4. Red Sox defeated the Tigers 6-3. Twins got by the Phillies, shut them out 3-0. It was the Nationals 8-7 over the Athletics. Pirates beat the Reds 4-2 in the first game of a doubleheader. Second game of that doubleheader went to the Reds. They defeated the Pirates 6-5. The Blue Jays beat the Cubs 11-4. Guardians they defeated the Rays 9-2. Marlins over the Yankees. They beat the Yankees 8-7. Brewers beat the White Sox 7-3. Rangers and the Giants went 10 innings. Giants beat the Rangers 3-2. The Orioles in 10 defeated the Mariners 5-3. Rockies lost. Dodgers beat them 8-3. And it was the Mets beat the Braves by a score of 7-6. We'll have more in just a minute.
Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District, ready to serve you and your family for all of your healthcare needs. Let our team of dedicated physicians guide you on your journey to better health. Pioneers is a recognized leader in healthcare and has more than 10 health centers and clinics throughout the Imperial Valley. When the need arises, don't hesitate to come and see us. We have services and locations at Calexico and Raleigh, and of course, our award-winning hospital, Pioneers Memorial. For more information on all Pioneer services, visit www.pmhd.org today.
And in NASCAR, Michael McDowell dominated the Brickyard 200, secures a playoff bid already. Playoffs are in November, but he's ready to go already. In golf, Auburn's Megan Schofield wins the U.S. Women's Amateur at Bel Air. Also in golf, Lucas Glover, he took the FedEx Cup opener for a second straight win for him, sweaty hands and all. Stephen Ames won the Boeing Classic for the fourth championship victory of the year. In tennis, Jessica Pegula routed Ludmila Samsonova to win the National Bank Open in Montreal. On the men's side in Toronto, in Canada, Jannik Sinner, he topped everybody and won the National Bank Open for the men. In the NBA, disgruntled 76ers star James Harden slams as a liar Daryl Morey. Morey is the president of the 76ers. Harden said he was a liar and he will never be a part of the organization that he's a part of. Just doesn't, not happy with that guy at all. That's it. That's a look at sports right there. You've been listening to the Sports World Roundup, brought to you by Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District. Log on to pmhd.org for more information about Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District.
Thank you for choosing Imperial Printers Rocket Copy. In today's highly competitive business climate, your company's image is important. The printed materials your company uses conveys a major part of that image. Our graphic designers have the talent and expertise to create a lasting impression for your business. Imperial Printers Rocket Copy offers virtually any type of business solution to meet your needs, from business cards and stationery to computer forms, full-color brochures, and posters. Let our excellent service and attention to detail provide the best impression for you. Locally owned and operated, Imperial Printers Rocket Copy has locations near you at 430 West Main Street and 100 South 11th Street in El Centro and 184 South Plaza in Brawley.
And your financial news and weather brought to you by Southwest Security, locally owned company protecting you and your property. Southwest Security also offers live scan fingerprinting to the public. S&P 500 and NASDAQ Composite slipped this morning as Wall Street looked to shake off a rough start to August. The move comes as stocks have struggled to sustain their rally in the late summer. Last week, the S&P 500 and a NASDAQ Composite fell 0.3% and 1.9% respectively. It was the NASDAQ Composite's first 2-week losing streak of the entire year. We'll take a look at the weather in just a minute.
Hi, this is Jason Jackson, owner of Southwest Security. 2 years ago, I opened Southwest Postal, offering you 24-hour access 365 days a year. So if you're tired of dealing with the inconvenience of our post office hours and you would like to be able to get your mail when you want, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, in the middle of the night, then come visit us at Southwest Postal with 24-hour staff. Plus, we're also your local FedEx, DHL, and Postal Service Center. We even offer text message and email notification when you receive your mail. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Howell in El Centro.
And there's an excessive heat watch in effect. Got to be sunny and hot today and tomorrow and for the next few days. High temperatures today around 110, south to southwest winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Financial news and weather brought to you by Southwest Security Services. They offer 24-hour-a-day post office boxes. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Howell in El Centro. It's 8 o'clock at KXO El Centro, California.
Until they finish.
Right now, the toll stands at 96. Thousands are homeless. CBS's Tony DeCopel is covering the Maui aftermath.
Kihei, where we are now, is home base for the relief efforts, which are ongoing, including the National Guard and also FEMA. They're providing, among other things, and this is hard to talk about, cadaver dogs to help with what is a very delicate search for bodies, loved ones that have been described to us as, at this point, mostly ash, which is why of the 96 victims so far, only 2 have been positively identified, and families are being asked to drop off DNA samples.
Now to Georgia, CBS's Nicole Killian reports this could be the week former President Trump is indicted for a 4th time in a case stemming from the 2020 election.
District Attorney Fonnie Willis says she's ready to go. CBS News has learned several witnesses have been subpoenaed to appear before the grand jury.
I think there'll be multiple defendants indicted.
Michael Moore is a former U.S. attorney and believes Willis could go further with racketeering charges against the former president and his allies.
It really allows her to talk about everybody's dirty laundry and everybody's dirty conduct.
Retirement today for the Chief of Naval Operations.
So, Admiral Gilday, congratulations on your tremendous tenure as the 32nd Chief of Naval Operations.
Defense Secretary Austin with a send-off. The first woman picked to now serve in that role, Admiral Lisa Franchetti, is now acting chief because of a holdup in military promotions by Alabama Republican Tommy Tuberville. CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland says by next month,
we're going to have the 5 uniformed people responsible for the national security of the United States. Their positions will be vacant, filled by someone in an acting capacity who can only make short-term decisions.
The Coast Guard and Navy have rescued 4 divers who were reported missing off the Carolinas yesterday. They were found southeast of the Cape Fear River. Public schools in Louisville, Kentucky closed today after a school bus fiasco on the first day of classes last week. Some kids never got a ride home. Some didn't return home till about 10 p.m. Ashley Robinson is a parent.
I do want all kids to be safe, and I hope that we can rectify the situation so that kids can have consistency.
Officials blame an overly ambitious redesign of bus routes. Checking Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is up about 9 points. The S&P is up 17. This is CBS News.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
Every piece of land has a story. Some right there is behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor, like the Upshaws.
This is my tractor Penny. It's all about attention to detail.
But the Nelsons love cruising around their expansive Montana ranch in their John Deere Gator UV.
We've been here since 1868.
While the Caggianos drive a John Deere zero-turn mower to keep their Long Island brewery looking sharp.
Don't call me, don't bother me. I'm going out to mow for a couple hours.
Run with us and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
Outside Pittsburgh, a huge blast leaves part of a neighborhood in ruins.
The home explosion destroyed 3 structures and damaged at least a dozen others. Plum Police Chief Laney Conley says the death toll has risen.
There have been 5 victims recovered from the scene, 4 of which are adults, and we have 1 adolescent child.
57 firefighters were treated on scene for minor issues, many of them for heat exhaustion. The cause of the explosion is under investigation, and officials say it may take years. Matt Piper, CBS News.
A second swimmer in a month has abandoned a bid to cross Lake Michigan after spending hours in the water. Brian Huffman began his attempt to cross the lake on Saturday in Wisconsin. He told the Detroit Free Press he gave up after his support boat lost steering and he hit rough current. He says he managed to swim about 12 miles in 13 hours. Earlier this month, another swimmer quit after 10 miles. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
If you own a small to medium-sized business that kept employees on payroll through COVID, you may have a big cash refund waiting for you. The Employee Retention Credit is a tax credit of up to $26,000 per employee. And now, more businesses than ever qualify. The experts at RefundsPro.com specialize in cutting through the red tape of qualifying for this government program. Most of their refunds are over $100,000. Even businesses that have received PPP funds may be eligible. And there are absolutely no fees unless you receive a refund. So there's no reason not to apply. If your business experienced shutdowns, limited capacity, supply chain challenges, or reduced revenue due to COVID, you likely qualify. RefundsPro.com has already helped hundreds of businesses. So don't lose the refund you're owed by missing the deadline. Get started today with a free 5-minute questionnaire at RefundsPro.com. That's refunds with an S, pro.com.
My name is Josephine Conway, and I'm an Imperial Valley Food Bank board member. When locals need help feeding themselves and their families, they turn to the Imperial Valley Food Bank. As the main distribution center of donated food in Imperial County, we store, rescue, and purchase food in bulk to serve 25,000 people each month at over 30 locations. Help fight hunger and food insecurity in the Imperial Valley by donating online at www.ivyfoodbank.org.
And your CBS News has been presented by the Imperial Valley Food Bank, fighting hunger in Imperial County since 1991. Become a hunger warrior. Contact the Imperial Valley Food Bank, 760-370-0966.
Dr. Marcus, please report to pharmacy. There's an issue affecting many children that I can't solve alone. It's called toxic stress. It's how a child's body responds to difficult experiences, from harsh language to a painful loss. It builds up inside, making it harder to fight off infections and illnesses, and increasing the risk for lasting health issues. But there are steps parents can take to help. Learn 4 things you can do to overcome toxic stress at first5california.com.
And now, more of the best oldies on the radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me lay on you a so-so entertainer
with George Gale.
Not much of a humanitarian, and this cat was never nobody's friend. You can applaud if you want to.
AM 1230 KXO.
1230 KXO.